So, I'm terrible at doing my own podcast, and I don't have a drink, but he does.
I'm sure Jason doesn't like sugar-free, but that's what we're going to have
Probably
together.
not a fan of it. I mean, they've gotten this taste down pretty well, honestly.
Well, you couldn't cheat this time and beat me at opening it since I'm the only one who brought it.
Yeah, we didn't exactly pop on 3. I should have just screamed 3 really quick as soon as you popped it.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
It's got a little. Yeah, it definitely tastes different than like normal Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. I've gotten
But it's
used
not
to it.
bad though.
I mean, that's all I drink is non-sugar stuff, so
Right.
it tastes pretty good to me at this point. But.
Yep, that helps you out a lot. Don't really need an introduction for you since you've been on already, but for those that are new, this is Adam Kringle, and he's a power lifter.
Yeah.
And also my uncle. And also bald.
I don't think you need to say that part.
So, so did anything interesting happen to you this week?
Oh, this week. Just like last time, nothing much. I don't do much.
Yeah.
Between lifting and working, that's about it.
Yeah.
So, a lot of birthdays.
Yeah. I had a birthday party this week. My birthday is in a couple days.
Yeah, and we celebrated my daughter's birthday
the
same
right,
day.
And it's the same, and that was actually her birthday.
Yeah, that
was my
actually
birthday
her
party.
birthday, yeah. I mean, to kind of get it started, so when we ended the last one, I was going to the Indiana State Championships.
Mm-hmm.
I won first place and best male lifter overall, which is the first time I won that. They give out, it's pretty explanatory, but I mean, you give one award goes to the male, you got one for female. And it's based on how much you lift also versus your weight. That way it's even across the board.
Right.
So someone like you, lifting more weight per your body weight versus me, you can beat, even though my weights are higher.
Right.
But it evens it out, makes it fair for everybody.
Right. And does that include form and stuff too?
What do you mean?
Like
the best form?
Getting best lifter, does that just matter for your weights, or does that include like subjective judgment at all?
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. So when you do bench press, squat, deadlift, there's commands to each one, and there's certain form to each one that you have to do based on what group you do, because they kind of change, but for the most part they're about the same, but there's some small changes depending on what group you're competing with. Mm-hmm. So like the one I do, your feet have to be flat on the ground when you do bench press. Some people like to get up on their tiptoes.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Your feet have to be flat. Your upper back cannot come off the mat, and neither can your butt. But the middle of your back can come up. So you've seen some where people are very flexible. They can like really get that arch in their body.
Theron.
I haven't actually seen him, so I don't know.
Oh, really? You've never seen Theron bench?
No, not since he was like high school.
Last time I saw him, which was, it may have been like 2 years ago, but he still had the same form.
Okay. All right.
Which is not,
I don't really remember. But yeah, they allow the arch, I think mainly because you can't give a specific height, like how much you can flex or whatever.
Right.
So I think there's a reason why they can't, put a specific rule on that. Like butt not coming with a pad is very explanatory, back not coming off. Right. Everybody has an arch. Some people can arch more than others.
Right.
And when you get some that arch like really high, and they're only benching like this far, and people have complained about it, but it doesn't break a rule.
Right.
So, but each one has certain rules. Deadlift, and you have to go on their commands. They tell you down to bring the bar down for bench press, and there's a pause. You hit your chest. You actually pause, and they tell you to press, and then rack. And if you do any of that before they say it, it's no good.
Yep.
So I mean, there are kind of rules like that. But if you mess up, it's a no lift, so it doesn't count.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter if you get it or not. If you didn't follow the correct commands, then it's no good, even if you get it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you always practice as if that is what's happening?
Yes and no. When I get closer to time, for sure I do. Like right now, I'm 8 weeks out from my next one, and probably get about down to like the 4 week period. I'll start really focusing on unracking and giving a second, like for a down command, and then pause. And now I always pause on the chest, no matter where I'm at, because that's just part of the form as far as doing the bench press, anyways.
Right.
The only thing is like the unracking, going down and racking. I don't really worry about that till I get closer. Then I pause and pretend like if somebody was saying it. Let's see, squats. There's not really anything other than depth. I mean, they tell you when you can start, and they don't tell you to come up. All they do is tell you to start, and then rack on squat. So you come up on your own.
Interesting.
So if you don't get the depth right, it doesn't count. So there is a depth that you have to hit, and that's hips below the knees. You actually have to have that difference. So, and then deadlift, you pull it when you're ready, and then they tell you down is the only thing you get for deadlift when you put it down.
Cool.
So.
Cool. Very nice. So I think we went over this before, but I don't totally remember. Your strongest lift is deadlift, right?
Yeah.
Is that where you excel the most?
Yeah, for sure. Right now, that's where I'm excelling. I got so in this last one was not the Indiana. So I've actually had one in between that and this podcast. It was up in Chicago, and I accidentally signed up for a non-drug tested event. Unfortunately, I got too excited and just signed up for one, and it wasn't drug tested. So actually, I didn't do too bad. I actually still got third, which is pretty good for a non-drug tested one.
Right.
I was pretty far away from the first and second place guy in my weight class, though. I mean, it was a pretty good difference. But I mean, I don't take anything, so I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage in that type of stuff. Not everybody that goes to those is taking something. Some of them they're local guys, and they're like, oh, there's competition, so they'll sign up for it.
Right.
So, but some definitely are, and you can really tell the difference when you're in there. But I got 609 on my deadlift, which was very easy. It went up very fast. I went for 650 and missed it by a hip lockout. I got it all the way to the top, but I couldn't push my hips through to finish it off. And so I just barely missed 650. But we'll be going for, I think, like 670 in this next one. So
nice.
So hopefully I can nail that one down. We're working on some different stuff to help out for finishing on deadlift, getting my hips through. We're doing banded deadlift. So that's where the bands are wrapped around like on the floor, and it's usually wrapped on something. Some people have platforms. The one I'm going to, I actually have to use railings off of the rack that he has set up, which, I mean, you've been there, those big tall racks.
Yeah.
So there's railings on the bottom I can put and wrap the bands around. So what it does when you get to the top, it's basically pulling back down. So you're really forced to drive your hips through. Whenever you do that, it make that part stronger. So hopefully that helps me finish out on a deadlift. So we'll see how that does.
Cool. Not a huge deal, but kind of a huge deal. You might want to talk into the blue light.
The blue light.
And that will help
like
your
this?
Voice. Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hear
All
that
right.
difference? Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I was gonna say, what is your next competition? You know, how big of a competition is it for you?
So this one's going to be pretty
big
big for me personally. So this one's going to be in Indianapolis, so not as far away. But this is a qualifier for the championship in November, which will be in St. Louis. So this one's pretty big. I got to hit it a certain number, which I hit in the last one. So I have no fear unless I get injured. I should be fine. I should actually be well over that number. And then I got the championship in November for St. Louis, and then that one hopefully will qualify me for nationals next year, which is in Vegas in July. So that's kind of like my schedule for the future, and then what I'm trying to hit and go for. So
awesome. So I personally kind of know this, and I'm just doing this as like a segue into me bragging about myself.
Okay.
But
that's fine.
What kind of what sports and things did you do when you were younger and in high school, and things like that.
It's kind of weird. I don't know how it's gonna like segue into you bragging.
Yeah, because I have like such a great track record with sports and things.
Okay.
You know how.
Oh, your medals are still up there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just being.
I thought maybe you were going to cover those up.
Yeah, I probably should have. Because like all of my medals, which I have trophies over there too.
We should have had. You should have been like having those over here too.
Yeah, because the trophies like actually mean something. Most of these are just like, you did it.
Yeah, I don't see any there's like third place.
The wrestling medals are placement medals.
Okay.
So this is an actual second place medal. I think this was city. So that was. Yeah. This was state. I think at Mater Dei I got third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are kind of cool though.
Yeah. So those are actual placement medals. This is not a sport. It's for fine arts, but
they don't know that.
But we did actually win sign language, so that was cool.
I like how you really like sign language. Yeah, that's right.
We won group sign language.
I know sign language.
Yeah, I don't know sign language, but I know some sign language. I know more than most people.
So was that like a third place winner then?
No, we won. Yeah, we won first place.
Oh, okay.
But so like you can win. And you can also qualify for nationals if you get like a really good judge score.
Okay.
So, like we won first place, but we didn't advance to nationals, so we didn't get like a good enough score to advance to nationals. We were still first place at the event. But like in poetry, I also win in poetry. I'm going to nationals in August.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so I advanced to nationals. I got almost a perfect score. I got a perfect score from one judge, and then I got a 40. 50 is perfect. I got a 49 from one and a 47 from another one. Gotcha. And I was really sad because like the 47, I could tell like part of the poem just like went over their head, I guess, because they were like, you didn't end the poem and you didn't end the poem very well. And I was like. And the other two people are like, I love how you brought it back together in the end. And I'm like, how did they not? It
sounds like that one shouldn't have been a judge.
Yeah, like maybe they weren't very well. They didn't know poetry very well or something. I don't know.
What you think if they're there, they would. Right.
Yeah, and it was a big event.
I do think it's funny that we went from sports to
poetry
now.
Well, because that's
we never
because I'm not actually very good at sports, I guess. Because I didn't win.
Well, I'm not very good at sports. I mean,
powerlifting, lifting is definitely a sport.
Yeah, but I mean, a professional powerlifter is not really on TV. You know what I mean? Like they don't really consider that to be a worthy
it kind of sport. Is though. Well, no, like the strongman is,
and that's actually like a competition though. Like they're running back and forth, like relay stuff, carrying heavy stuff.
It's timed.
It's not just. I'll be honest with you. I like to compete. I don't like to watch it. It's boring to watch people powerlift because I mean, it's a static lift. Deadlifts are kind of cool to watch. Other than that, and it's only like I want to watch like their third attempt, like their heaviest weight. That's the only ones that are kind of cool to watch. But I mean, even as someone who likes doing it. I don't like watching people bench press or squat or unless it's just crazy weight. That's the only thing that's fun.
Right.
If you go on YouTube and look up powerlifting videos, the only ones that have views are like, guys bench pressing 800 pounds or more. There's one here recently that was like 1,400. But, I mean, he's also equipped, which, I mean, it's still crazy. I mean, they'll hold that weight above you. And they did like a board lift, so they put the board here, and you have to like touch it and then come up. So he didn't go very far with it, but I mean, I couldn't have done that. That's a lot of weight to even just hold above you, even equipped. And equipped, if you guys know what that is, he's got like a shirt on, so it makes everything real tight. Usually they can't even like bend their arms, so when they're going to like lay back, like their arms are stuck like this, and they're gonna like squeeze in between the seat and the bar, and so they're all wrapped up real tight. So I don't know what that dude could bench without the equipped. I didn't look to see if he had one unequipped or not. But I mean, I'm sure it's still up there,
Right.
I'm not taking anything away from him. But, I mean, I feel like equipped, if you do equipped, it's a little easier on your body. Yes, you're doing more weight. But when you wrap your knees and you got a squat suit on, it compresses everything. And it actually helps protect stuff. So, I mean, I always thought about maybe doing that when I hit 40, because that way, I'm older, I've worn my body out at this point. Maybe I'll do equipped. I can wrap my stuff up and go longer.
That probably protects you.
Yeah,
from injury.
Yeah, like I said, you end up doing more weight. So I mean, I guess it could. I don't know. I guess it could still mess you up depending on how much weight you're doing. But it's almost like a spring. When you wrap your knees real tight and everything, and then you go down, and you got like a squat suit on, so it makes your hips tight. When you go down, you have to have heavy weight to even push you deep enough to hit the point of squatting to count, and then it like almost kind of starts your spring up, anyways. Mm-hmm. It's not really you till I don't know about halfway up. Then it's all you because all the springs out. Right. So.
Yep.
But talking about judges, by the way, so in this last competition, they had what they called a national judge. So they have like regular judges, they have to go through like a training type deal to be a judge.
Okay.
And then to be a national judge, they got to do more training. They probably have to do so many events and whatnot, and it's also volunteer. They don't make money. I don't know if they make money at a higher level like nationals and stuff or not. I don't know. Most of them are volunteer. So they wear red shirts for regular. Nationals wears blue shirt. So this lady walks in. They're like, oh, no, it's a national judges here. Because national judges judge you a little bit closer.
Okay.
So they might actually give you a bad lift where the people in the red shirts give you a good lift. That's why they're a little more pickier. That's also why they're national judges. A little more, a little more at stake. So I didn't like her. And that's the reason why. So it's kind of the same principle in a sense. So I did, let's see, what was it? So my first deadlift of 609, it comes up fast. The problem, it comes up faster than I thought it would. So I actually lost my balance forward a little bit, which caused my right hand to dip. So you can't, once you start your motion up, you can't go back down unless you're done with the lift. Otherwise it's bad. You can't go up and down. You can't do any like lean back and like jerking on it or anything crazy like that. Right. As I'm coming up, I lose my balance a little bit forward, and this right side dips just a touch. Nothing crazy. Left side doesn't. So middle judge gives a thumbs up, they're up like this. And the one on the right gives me a thumbs down because my right hand kind of dipped back down. The judge on the left was national judge, gave me a thumbs up, but the table that records everything is behind her, and she keeps her thumb down here by her hip. So instead of doing this where they could see it, she has her thumb down here, and she's just like, and I'm standing there kind of like, okay, and the table's like, it's and they don't know what to announce if it's good or bad because her hand's in her lap, and it's like, you're a national judge, that table's behind you, they know they have to see your thumb. And she just kept it down there, and I was actually getting irritated at that point. So I'm like, I wanted to be like, raise your hand, like, and I shouldn't have to tell you to raise your hand, so they can tell yes or no or whatever.
Yeah.
I know it's small, but when you're competing and everything, every little thing can change the whole event for you. Right. And I'm like, this lady's killing me. Like, get your hand up. Like, I mean, what you're doing, way more than the guys in the red, but you still have your hand down here. I don't know. It's just like a little pet peeve of mine, for that, like, but kind of the same thing. Like, she's a national judge. She's done it plenty of times. She knows what she needs to do, and still didn't do it.
Right.
So it's kind of the same.
Yeah. I see what you mean, for sure. My proudest trophy is my Hunger Games trophy, and that's like the only thing I have that I actually won first place in. Okay. Is that
for reading all the books?
No.
Okay.
I actually haven't read any of the books or seen any of the movies.
It's not a good start. You don't think you should have that trophy.
Well, you see, I'm the best at the sport. What can I say?
I didn't know there was a sport.
Yeah, so...
Do you go out and hunt other people or something? Or what?
Pretty much. Okay. So, yeah, no. Okay.
You got to explain this.
Most people watching the podcast probably already know about it. I think it comes up almost every single podcast.
Really? That's your fault. You just brought it up.
Yeah, it is. It's my fault this time, but yeah, it's usually my fault. But it's a pretty big part of my life. So
okay.
So this is a sport invented by Isaac, basically.
Okay.
And we fight each other with Nerf weapons.
Yes. Okay.
So basically, it seems really nerdy, but you have to be quite physically capable to be able to be good at it.
LARPing?
Huh?
LARPing?
What is that?
Isn't that what that is? You don't know?
Never heard of LARPing.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called.
It's closer to fencing when you're like with swords.
So is it only one-on-one?
No. So here's how the Hunger Games works.
Okay.
So we have an array of weapons. So it's not just like fencing because we have throwing weapons, like little tomahawks.
Yeah,
and there's some bows and stuff. And so they're all put in the middle.
Yeah.
If we can get enough people, we haven't the past couple years. This year it looks like we're going to have enough to divide us into districts. That's from the movie, where there's two. So people can make alliances and stuff, of course, and you fight each other. One hit and you're out. Like it's just one hit, you're out. Yeah. So, but headshots don't count because we don't want people going for the face. Someone's going to get hurt. Hand shots also don't count because like it just wouldn't really be a game really because when you're doing sword fighting and stuff, your hands get hit so often.
What if you're blocking with your hand? So the first thing comes to mind. Okay.
Right, you can't block with your hand. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that is. So if you like caught a sword,
right, so
you'd be out.
immediately like my hand doesn't count. Right.
Yeah, you would be out if you like tried to catch a sword. But you can grab like, the base of a sword or something like that. If someone throws a tomahawk at you, if you catch it by the handle, you're okay. No one's ever done it before, but you could attempt,
Right.
I mean, I've done it before, like when we're playing around, but not ever in the actual games.
What if you get hit by the handle?
You're out. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you're out.
I think you should change that.
Well, with the tomahawks, if you get it with the handle, because it's just you can't really tell that well anyway.
Right. I guess.
It's just you get hit, you're out. With swords, like you can't hit them with the handle of your sword. But anyway, the rules are very detailed, and we spent lots of time on it.
Sounds like you got it covered. I've tried to catch a few here.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, I won last year. That was the 9th annual Hunger Games. So I guess you could say I'm the best since I've won once in 9 years. But
well, how many people play?
Think we had about 20 last year.
Well, that's pretty good.
And we are trying to get about 24 this year. That's our goal.
I mean, that's pretty out of 20 people, and you win. That's
yeah. And it was all due to strategy. So, because it's very much strategy.
A lot of tomahawk throwing
versus like just being good at combat. You got to get people on your side. You got to get people you can trust on your side.
And then cut the throats.
So what I did last year, which is, I've never betrayed anyone in the Hunger Games.
You almost have to.
Like if you're allied with someone, you could just kill them,
Right.
So I've never done that. So people trust me. But I found someone who was willing to betray. And so basically I just sent them as a secret agent to join
wait a minute.
Isaac's team.
So, okay. So he's
Isaac's
on your team, but then you make him join the other team.
Right. So he's secretly on my team, but he hasn't told anyone.
Gotcha.
You see, I caught him alone in the woods.
Right.
Put a gun to his head, told him he had to do it. Not really, but
hold on, guys.
So
it got real violent real quick.
I got a decent group around me. Isaac, I always have to kill Isaac because he's never won his own game that he invented, and I can never let it happen.
He's never won the card game either?
Oh, well, yeah, he's won that, but...
Okay. Well, he invented that, right?
Yeah, I'm saying the Hunger Games. I'm
just
he's never won the Hunger Games.
Gotcha.
And he invented the game. So I can't ever let him win. That's my goal. Now, like, I don't even hardly care so much about winning anymore as much as not letting Isaac win. So
as long as you kill him, you're good, right?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
And my second biggest rival is Zeke, because we've gotten just me and him and one other person multiple times. So the year before last, me and him partnered up, just me and him, and we killed everyone except for one. Like, we did all the killing of everyone besides just one other kill.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. and there was one other person that was hiding. So, like, you know, different people have different strategies. Some people hide. Some people try to be loners. Some people, like Zeke, is like just a big talker and tries to manipulate people. I'm kind of a mix of everything. I don't hide at all because it's boring to me, but
Right.
I'm not really a talker. I'm more of a fighter, but I don't know. I kind of avoid conflict too. Like, I don't know. I'm just kind of, I'm an odd one.
So I don't mean to keep interrupting, but I got a question right now. So, like, if me and you were on a team and we wiped everybody out, so now it's just me and you one-on-one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, is that how it went down for you?
So here's what happened. So it's me and Zeke and one other person hiding. We said, okay, we're going to split up, and whoever can find this person first, kill them, and then we'll fight each other. Well, he found the person first, convinced him to go with them against me.
Oh.
So it's 2-on-1. Of course, I died.
That's crazy.
And then the person that Zeke had made a deal with them that just if they help him kill me, he'll let them kill him. So the hider won, and
so he stayed true to that.
Yeah, he did.
I was really gonna say, I thought you were gonna say he's gonna turn around. Now they're one-on-one because I lied, and we're gonna be one-on-one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
That's what I would have done.
Well, the person was smart too, because like they did it instantly. As soon as I died, they killed him.
So he didn't have a chance.
He would have, but also he had kind of, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Like his brain.
The only
even
way,
if he had planned that, he wouldn't have.
The only way to make a deal to where I'd be like, all right, you win, would be if we were partnered the entire time, and that was our immediate beginning deal. Like, we're partnered up, and then if it's me and you left, I'll let you win.
Well, Zeke has done this to me once before. It was me, Zeke, and one other guy, and Zeke was in my district that year.
Okay.
And he joined with the other guy and killed me.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think like I have this thing that Zeke can't win, that Isaac can't win, and Zeke has a thing that I can't win, kinda. Well, so
it sounds like you don't need to partner with him anymore.
Yeah.
Or fake
probably.
Partner with him.
Yeah. All right. So last year when I actually won, I got someone to infiltrate Isaac's group, and it was really interesting because we've never really had this in the Hunger Games. We had like 2 big groups of about 7 people, and we went to war like 7-on-7.
That's cool.
It was really cool. And so like during that battle, he betrayed them, and he got like 4 of them.
Oh wow! Before they even realized what was happening.
Kind of, yeah.
That's crazy.
And one of those was Isaac, so I was very happy. And then,
come on, Isaac.
And then near the end, Eiley was hiding, and then I had one other person on my team and the guy that had betrayed. And I said, hey, let's split up and go around this house, and we'll meet on the other side. You know, we're looking for Eiley. And I sent, because I felt like since he's willing to betray, he's willing to betray us. So I sent him off with the other team member, and while they were on the other side of the house, he killed them.
Oh, okay.
And so it was just, so then, you know, I saw he killed her, and we faced off, and I killed Kaiden, and then I went and found Eiley and killed her. And I won. Of course. Yeah.
Equal rights, equal fights. Now, I will say, you know, nothing against the Hunger Game thing. It does sound a lot like LARPing. Now, I could be getting the name wrong, but I'm pretty sure that I'm getting the name right. And LARPing is basically what you're saying. But they kind of do, instead of the Hunger Game style, they do like nights and stuff. And I've seen some where they actually do like I guess they
role
have like magical powers. They like fireball. They threw like fire. So they'll have like a Nerf ball. They'll be like, it's fireball. I'll throw it. And the only reason why I even know this is I have a friend who used to do it. So, and I think he just did it once, from what I understand. And I think he just did it I think they just kind of did it as a goof, and then ended up doing it. But he just did it that one time. But I'm fairly certain that's what it's called. And it's very similar to what like kind of you guys are explaining. But like instead of like zones or districts, they had just, you know, whatever. Like they have one guy. It's kind of like the king, you know. and he kind of leads his group, and they have another guy that leads his group. So kind of like the same type of stuff. You know, they got the foam swords and all that.
It's cool. It's cool. Yeah, we do, and we do a bunch of different game types too. But like that's like the main Hunger Games.
I just do tomahawks.
That's where all the clout comes from.
I just
me too. I'm a projectile guy because it's way safer.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can. If you're running at me with a sword, I got a pretty good chance of hitting you.
Yep. I'm very much a projectile guy.
Although, you know, I feel like you should take away the head thing. Yeah, you get hit in the head. I mean, hey, that's part of it. The thing is, you wanna talk about sports now? You know, and head injuries.
Oh, well, you got those.
Yeah, I definitely have those. I have a lot of those.
Yeah.
You know, you play football, you get hit in the head a lot.
Yep.
So
I'm glad I never did it.
Basketball, it happens too.
Yeah, I've gotten quite a few concussions from basketball.
Yeah. Elbow in the face. That's it's pretty common.
Yep.
But no, that sounds fun.
So, what do you think about how you should treat wait staff?
I'm sorry.
How do you think you should treat waiters and waitresses and stuff?
It's all based on them.
Okay.
So if we were to go to a restaurant and they're polite, I'll be polite. I mean,
right.
I usually always try to leave a pretty good tip because they usually don't make that good of money. They make most of their money on tips.
Right, for sure.
I usually will leave a little bit more if it's the holidays. You know, if it's Christmas stuff, I'll leave a little bit more. But I have one pet peeve. If my glass is empty and you don't come back for a while, you're not checking on me because that's part of your job, regardless of how hard it is or whatever. Now, I will take some things in consideration. If it's completely packed and they're short-staffed, I take that in consideration. But there's been times where, like, I don't know, me and whoever I'm with or whatever, we're like the only ones in there. There's maybe like a couple other people, and I got an empty glass. And I've had to eat like my entire food and have nothing in the cup because they never come back to check. That's when, either they don't get a tip. I show my unhappiness with their work. And that happens at a regular job. If you're not as good as the person next to you, unless you're union, but if you're not union, you're not getting the same raises as the other guys that are doing the better work. You're not getting the same bonuses, and you're also probably not treated as well. If you're working harder than I am, the boss is going to like you more than me. He's going to give me crap, and he's going to let you kind of maybe get away with a little bit more here and there.
Yep. Unless you're related.
yeah, that might be a little different there. But, I base it off of them, and how they do their job. And if they do like a really outstanding job, I'll leave more than I normally would. And I've had that happen a couple times. Like they're really cool. They interject. They want to talk. They're constantly checking on you. There's been times where I got a half a glass and they bring me a whole glass. Those are the people that I give a little extra to.
Cool. Awesome. What do you think about like the instigator type of customer that like constantly asking for little things and like. You know what I'm saying? So
now, there's someone in my family, not your side, but there is somebody in my side of the family that does this. And he doesn't watch this, so I don't care. But I'm not gonna say his name either way. But he does that, and it's embarrassing for me a little bit because I'm like, and this person always kind of had like a little bit of a rude way of bringing it up too. Mm-hmm. Which they look at it kind of the way I look at it. So if I don't get emotional about it.
Right.
They're
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They're thinking of it the same way I do, but they get emotional about it, like where's my drink, or I asked for ranch and there's no ranch. It's like pull back a little bit. Or they would go to a Mexican restaurant, like, well, these chips are cold. We need fresh chips. I'm like, just eat them. You know what I mean? Like I get it. Cold chips suck over warm chips, or whatever. But also, I'm not gonna send it back.
It's not like. That's kind of the point of the tip is like you pay that part afterward. Right. Like it's not something you didn't like pay for the chips directly. Right. You didn't, you know what I'm saying?
You're paying for the service that you're getting. So I mean that, but that all does. Now I do put all that towards the chip. Okay, we had cold chips. Mm-hmm. All right, and you knew they were cold. You brought them out here. So
right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So like it's kind of like Like, really, you deserve hot chips. You know what I mean?
Right. And I'm not saying it's rude to ask for hot chips or warm chips or your ranch or whatever, but you can do it without an attitude, you know? Because it doesn't make them want to bring that to you, because now they feel like they're being forced to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, now I got to get this guy's whatever, you know, and now, who knows? Maybe they're spitting in it. You know, you never know. But yeah, it embarrassed me. I don't like being there when that happens, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's rough.
How many do you do that? What do you do?
Oh man, I don't like talking to waitresses and waiters very much at all. No.
Oh.
Like I'm almost
So you one of those guys that point out what you want on the menu? Just like I want.
No, I'm brave enough to speak, but like I'm like the person that gets really embarrassed when your parents try to use a Mexican accent when they order Mexican food.
That's very, very, very white. It's whiteness right there.
And
the goal to just use an accent.
You know, I don't know why it feels like Americans are the worst at copying accents.
Because we don't have one, or we feel like we don't have one.
Right.
I think we feel like that's some people's identity in a sense. Like, you know, some Asians that come across, they have an accent, or Hispanics, or really anybody, even other whites that come from like Ireland, or they have accents.
We cannot copy a British accent. I've never seen an American copy a British accent. I'm sure there's like one or two, very few people out there that can do it well.
But it is weird, because I think it's because we almost want an accent. But I think here's the thing. I think we do. We do have accents. If you just go around the United States in general.
Oh yeah.
We do have accents, and depending on where you're from, you have one.
Right.
You know, the South has theirs. The North has theirs. I mean, anywhere you go.
Right, like you were saying theirs right there, and most people say theirs.
Yeah, that's probably just like I don't know English too good. I think that has a lot to do with it right there.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because like even though I've grown up here my entire life, the accent around here bothers me a lot.
Really?
Because I guess because my parents are kind of California, you know, grew up in California, and so I talk like I'm from California. I have very similar dialect. I have got a little bit from here.
Right.
You know, little bits, but like most people around here bug me the way they talk.
So I think a lot of it's forced around here. Now, I've always been told I have a slight southern accent. Nothing crazy, but especially when I go up north. So I traveled for work up north, and they actually so it was in Michigan. So it's not crazy north, but I kind of expected them to have a little bit of a northern accent. They did not. They did pretty plain, normal, you know. And I go, you guys don't really have a northern accent. And some lady goes, well, I'm detecting a slight southern accent from you. And I go, really? I go, I didn't know I even had that. You know, but there's some people here that really hit that twang.
Yeah.
And I think they just lean into it. I don't think it's necessarily something that's here, but I think, you know, we live in a small town. We're a country style town. You know, a lot of people fish, hunt. You know, that's the main living for here.
Yeah, it's actually kind of less. There's less accent here than you would think with the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but there's some that really lean into it, and they lean into it for so long.
Well, that's what bothers me.
Yeah,
is when it's like you're like changing your accent for your culture, and I'm just like, dude,
yeah, and I think that's what it is.
Corny.
But the problem is, like, usually their whole group does that,
right?
So they don't, you know, and I don't even know if people necessarily do it on purpose. You know, if you're someone who lives here and your friends have a slight southern accent when you're younger, and you listen to country music all the time, so you're constantly getting that type of vernacular. Like the big word, and I don't even know what it means. I don't know if I used it right.
You did, yeah.
And you know, so I think they hear it all the time through the music. Their friends talk that way. They sort of talk that way, and I think over time they feel like that's their normal way of talking. And I don't know if they could change it now. You know, when they hit their 30s and they're talking like that, I don't think they can change it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's what I think it is for this area, because we're not really Southern. I mean,
right. No, I find I find like most people kind of change, they change the tone of their voice when they're telling jokes. You know, like,
You talking about like actual like comedians or just people in general? No,
people in general. At least I've found that. Well, I've found about myself, and it annoys me, is that like so a lot of times when I go to tell a joke, I'll use like a more country accent, and I'll be like, "Why am I talking country right now?" And it really bothers me.
Is that part of the joke though? Are you telling something that's southern?
No, it's just like because I'm being sarcastic or something, just because like I'm trying to show an inflection in my voice that I'm not being serious,
right?
But for some reason country is what I go to, and it's really weird.
It's your real voice coming out.
No.
You're relaxing, you're trying to be silly, and that's what comes out, man. That's why it's all right.
Please no.
Oh no, I don't know. I mean, I think some people just lean into what they want to sound like. I mean, check out the Bayou. People down there, Louisiana. I mean, they're like another country when it comes to talking.
Yeah.
We get these guys in on barges, at work that I mean, I can't understand what they're saying. And it's like, are you like? I know my English is bad, but I don't know what you just said to me.
Yeah, for sure.
And just getting their name is tough sometimes. I mean, it's and I mean, and that's. Why do they talk like that there? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I understand if you're like far north, close to Canada, they speak, what are the languages they speak in Canada? French? Is that right?
Right, yeah, French, Canada,
So I understand like if you're like really far north, maybe your family's from Canada or you got friends and you're right there on that border maybe. I can understand maybe having that there. But getting some crazy accent in the middle of the United States is nuts.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Because if you go further than that, they're fine. It's like it's only in that area. It's not like it's all around. It's just that one spot, and then that's it.
Yeah, it is interesting. So, coming off of our country, what do you think about country music? Because I have a very strong opinion.
Oh no. So. I like older country, so I like Buck Owens. I mean, everybody likes Johnny Cash if you like country in general. I mean, that's kind of one of the main, I just kind of like a little bit older stuff and kind of stuff I grew up with. So like 90s country, Garth Brooks, stuff like that. But I don't really like the newer stuff because I have a hard time saying that it's country and not pop. It sounds like pop to me, and they sing with the accent. Right. So it's not even country music being played. It's like pop music, like a Justin Bieber song, but then they're doing like a twang accent and singing about trucks and dogs and going hunting. And that's not country music in my opinion, but it's also generation. It's a generational thing. It changes all the time. Now I do like older country before my generation. Buck Owens and stuff is before my generation, but I like Buck Owens. Right.
Well, I just find like there's actual genuine songs in older country. Like, they have like different topics they go to. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like the song follows a topic and it might actually be a creative idea. Right. Instead of just, recycled lyrics over and over again. Yeah. And the reason I think I passionately hate pop country so much or modern country, it's interesting. I wonder, because I've never found like a modern country, in the modern era country artist that makes good music yet. I haven't found it. I'm sure they exist, but they're probably small,
So I will say for me, just in general with music, is I like all types of music. Now, there's not one type of music that I like over anything else. I don't stick to one type of brand. I will say as far as it's considered.
How about opera?
Opera? There could probably be some songs there. I like Ave Maria. That's opera, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now granted, that's the only song I can pull out of my head that's opera, but I mean, I could like some of that stuff. That's fine. Now, I don't know if I could go to an opera show and be fully invested. I may bring up my phone and watch some YouTube. I don't know. But I will say that when it comes to country music, there's a thing called country rap. And there are some artists like Adam Calhoun and Ryan Upchurch.
You could say that
I like some of their stuff. Rap. Now, Ryan Upchurch does do some
I don't like
actual country songs, too.
Right. Adam Calhoun is he's actually good. Like, he's actually good at rapping. Where, like, there is definitely, like, country rap that I've listened to where I'm like, you're just trying to get on the rap train and you don't know what you're doing.
Right, yeah. I mean, well, you're always going to have that. You have
that in every genre.
But I love Adam Calhoun's stuff for the most part. Now, he's got some songs I don't like. I mean, you're not going to like oh, good job. Spill our one soda we have.
I spilled it on myself first, and I was like panicking trying to get it down here. And
but, you know, so as far as country goes, as far as like stuff that's out now, I mean, I kind of go more that direction, I guess.
Interesting.
I'm sure if you sat me down and had me listen to all the new country songs that are out right now, I could maybe find one or two that I do like.
Right, of course.
But I like some like regular, not country. I like regular rap. There's some regular rap that I like. There's some regular pop, like even like right now that I like. The pop when I was a kid, I liked a lot of it in the 90s. You know, I mean, I like all genres of music. I can always find something in that area that I like. I like even like without words, like techno stuff. There's some techno stuff I like. You know, it's weird. You know,
yeah.
Kayla, my wife, finds it very strange because she's like, "What do you listen to this week?" Because it's always different, you know. Because I just jump on like one group, oh, it's cool, and I listen to all this stuff, and then I'll just randomly find something new, and I'm hooked on that for a while.
Cool.
You know, so.
Cool. Right. So what I was gonna say is why I feel like I passionately hate pop country so much is because I feel like in a way it's representing me because I live so much in the country, you know, and I feel like people listen to that and they see me and where I live and they think, oh, he's that culture, you know, and I hate that. And I feel the same way about Christian music as well because I feel like it somewhat represents me and it makes me angry, but I don't know.
Now, I will say with you, I could see where you maybe see the Christian music part. I don't look at you and think a country guy.
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
You don't wear, so I don't feel like
I don't wear jeans.
I don't feel like it represents
I wear
you.
Jeans, but
I feel like it only represents you, or you should feel like it represents you, as if that's what you like and that's what you look like. You don't wear the country clothes that they wear.
Right.
You don't drive a big jacked up truck.
But,
so I don't feel
like... But I
like...
do actually live in the country, and I do actually hunt, and I do actually fish and do all these things the people in Nashville pretend they do.
Right, but I don't feel like you should feel like that represents you at all.
Well, I don't, but people perceive it that way, and it makes me angry.
Are you sure?
But that's just my reaction to it. It's probably not true, but that's what I feel like.
So what I mean by, like, if you were to go to Chicago or a big city away from here, are they going to go, yeah, you're from a small town, with just looking at you?
No.
Right. So it shouldn't bother you.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, but if you wore like camo and you looked like you came from the country and went to a big city, yeah, they're gonna go, yeah, that's that guy. He probably has a big jacked up truck and a dog, beats his wife. You know, I don't know. You know, all the stereotypes of a country guy, but you don't look the part.
Right.
So nobody's gonna look. Now, when we live in this area, everybody, you know what I mean. Like, even if you were probably in town, nobody's gonna go, yeah, that guy's from the country. I probably think you live in Mount Vernon, like the city.
Right, yeah.
Because you don't look the part of someone who lives where you live.
Right, yeah. Yeah, like I went, me and my friend were attempting to magnet fish. We'd never done it before, but all we got was a piece of barbed wire. That's the best we got. Anyway.
Gold coin.
So we went out to the bridge, on the way here. And, I never have to go there because we have the creek on our property, so we can bow fish and stuff from here. But, there's people that go out there and bow fish and stuff. And, a guy came out there that, like, I play basketball with and, like, I've known for quite a while. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, I just, like, somehow the conversation came up to where he knew that I lived around right there. And he's like, oh, you live out here? And I'm like, yeah. Well, but people don't think that, see me.
So again, you shouldn't feel like it represents you because it does not.
Yeah.
In any way. And nobody knows really where you're from outside of, your little, your friend group, family.
Right. But here's the problem.
Okay.
Is that I feel like they represent what like country living is like.
So you
and
mean...
I do really like country living, but they have like a twisted version of it.
Well, but I don't understand why it bothers you, I guess. Because so people that live in big cities, they see like the music videos and they hear the music and they think, oh, like that's country living.
Right.
And it's not.
Correct.
But what does that matter? They're not going to like, oh, I'm going to go live in the country now. No, they're going to stay in the city more than likely.
Right.
What's it matter what they think?
It just bothers me. I feel like it's
because here's the thing. We have, people who live in this area, we have our perception of people who live in the cities, people live in big cities,
Right.
And then nothing's going to change that. And the music is the same way for them. That it really pushes what we think about them.
I guess, yeah.
Even country music pushes our thoughts of what we should think about them too. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I mean, it goes both ways.
But
if you've ever been to a big city or have friends that live in big cities, you know that that's not the truth for everybody.
Yeah.
Now, we'll say some of the songs do represent some people who live out here. So,
that's for sure. That's very true.
If I was going to be a country singer and sing about my hometown and stuff, a lot of singing about meth.
Yep, for sure.
Me and my friends don't call this Meth Vernon for anything.
No.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
So, I guess there could be worse things you could sing about.
Yeah, obviously.
Representing someone like you.
I know I have bad teeth, but it's not from meth, I promise.
He's lying. He's actually 52.
Well, in that case, I look really good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. 4th of July is coming up. I'm very happy about that. Always excited. We always have 2 parties normally. So I'll celebrate with your family, and then I'll celebrate with my friends. And I got a new shirt. Have I shown you that?
I don't know.
I don't think I have. So it's actually got Biden on the shirt, and it says Merry 4th. And it says, what was it? You know the thing.
Nice.
But
does it is his face really big and it just
it's pretty decent right here. Yeah, it's like
cuts
right
out
here.
Your nipples for eyes? Because that would be nice.
That'd be cool, but it's right in the middle.
Yeah.
So if I cut his eyes out, you're just gonna see a hairy chest.
Or make it for his ears.
Oh, that'd be cool, I guess. Well, I think his face is sideways, so it'd be like one ear.
Just got to get him out somehow.
I mean, you can cut holes in your shirts if you want nipples out. I mean, it doesn't really, it doesn't have to have a purpose.
just to do it, yeah.
Right, yeah. I mean, if that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, you just want people just be like, "Hey, Adam, Hey, Adam."
Well, they already do that with my 4th of July shirts.
Yeah.
I mean, I cut them mid-drift anyways.
Yep.
And I'm not a person who should wear a mid-drift shirt, so I'm already, eye candy. So I don't need nipples out too.
Yep.
It'd probably be too much for people. They'd probably tell me to leave.
Yeah, you'd get kicked out of the family.
Yeah, like we're okay with you cutting the shirts off, but leave your nipples hidden. Nobody wants to see that.
Yep, for sure.
Be some real fireworks going off.
Yeah. Did we do 4th of July last year? I don't remember it. Oh, we went out to Nathan's.
Yeah, we went to Nathan's. Yeah, I had work the next day, so I had to leave before they did fireworks. So I have work actually again the next day from Nathan's. So I don't know if he's doing fireworks.
I don't know.
I think he actually decided. I believe he decided not to do fireworks this year.
I don't know that he should. He doesn't have the best track record.
And he knows that. And
I'm not. I'm just not a big fan of fireworks. I find them really boring.
No way, man.
And I just find them dangerous and boring. My dad thinks I'm retarded, but I think it's the best to just go to the riverfront, see the very good fireworks that they put a lot of money into. That's
okay.
And then go home and not do any more fireworks.
I don't mind that, but I like both. I like to do both. I don't think you're retarded. I mean, you're doing poems and stuff, and you got sign language medals. I mean,
For some reason, Yeah, we'll say that. Okay.
But it's kind of like, I think for me, I get excited about it because it's almost like a Braveheart moment, you know. It's like it's our tradition. Like, we're gonna take off freedom and we shoot fireworks off. I mean, I get into it. Now I don't dress up a whole lot for our family 4th of July. Like, I'll probably have a shirt with sleeves and a full shirt on. But like my friend's 4th of July, I'll have the short American flag shirt or shorts, and then the midriff shirt on. You know, I go all out usually for that type of stuff, and we shoot fireworks off. I mean, that's, you know, now I do have to say the only time where I draw the line at fireworks is I hate when it happens after the 4th. I understand before, because people just can't wait to set them off. I get it. 4th, now after the 4th, I wish it was just done. Yeah. At least in town.
Yeah, man.
We have dogs, you know, we got little kids, and I got work. You know, so I'm waking up at, 11 o'clock at night with flashes in the window and fireworks going off. Now, before the 4th, I don't get mad. And of course, on the 4th, I'm fine. But after the 4th, especially when it's like a week later and you're still having, it's like, give it up, guys. How do you still have fireworks? You know,
yeah.
You should have shot them off already. You know, that's just my own problem with it.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
You got anything else? Because I got a side note or something. If not,
go for it.
If we're just rambling, anyways.
Pretty much.
Kind of back to the powerlifting thing. If anybody who listens to this gets into any sport, I would probably say go to a physical therapist.
Yes,
I found this out a little late, unfortunately. My dad never did this stuff. I just kind of getting into it, and so in this last one, I bench pressed the same in the last 2 competitions. I did 385 in the Indiana State Championship, which was a PR for me, and that's about what we were going for, and felt fine. It went actually really smooth and easy. Probably definitely could have got more, but still PR went up. Between this training period, I actually hurt my shoulder so much that I couldn't bench press for 4 weeks. So I took 4 weeks off through a training period, which is not good if you're wanting a PR. And then the last 4 weeks, it only gave me 4 weeks because I got like the first 3 weeks in, 4 weeks couldn't do it, and then the last 4 weeks I did, but I tried to just do the sets. I didn't do anything extra because it was still sore, still hurt, and it still is. And so I got 385 again, but I had to really push to get it. I mean, I had to give everything I had to just get the same amount. And I started going to a physical therapist. Obviously, when I first couldn't bench, it hurt so bad. I started going to a physical therapist. I've been going, and I've fixed a lot of other ailments in my hips and my legs, and really keeping healthy. Now my shoulders still hurt, unfortunately. That's one we just can't get to stop. And I don't know if it's because I don't stop lifting. You know, I mean, other than those 4 weeks, that's the longest I've had off in the past 2 years in lifting, because that's all, I go right into the next training period for the next competition right after that competition is done. I give myself about a week, and after that, I'm right back into it. So physical therapist. I also see kind of like a sports specialist massage lady as well. And she can really, hit certain muscles and tendons and really hit the certain spots. That sounds weird. Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. No. And, but if anybody's doing anything, even sports related, period, and you're trying to stay active, even just even if you're someone who feels good, like once a month, even just go to a physical therapist. They can kind of have you do certain stretches, help you get more mobility. I didn't realize how zero mobility I had. I didn't realize it. So as they started having me go through stuff, right. And here she is doing a certain stand, and she can bring her knee all the way up, and I move my foot off the ground this far. That's all I got, and I'm like, I got no movement at all,
Yeah,
so
it's bad.
But of course that's just years of not moving,
Yeah.
and then now trying to do all this stuff after not doing anything for years. So
yeah, I had the same experience with my back, which I already told you about this somewhat, but they would do things like put their hand on here and you lift up, and the discrepancy between my legs was so massive, it was unbelievable. And it's all because of my back. And dude, for years I couldn't even touch my toes, and after like a month now I can touch my toes again. I have zero pain.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's crazy what you'll put up with too.
Yeah.
And just not know. Like, I didn't know certain things, but I'm pushing so much weight and I'm trying to use everything that I have, that now that like certain things are coming uncovered that I got issues with that I didn't know I even had issues with. Because when you go from when I was just doing worked every day. That's all I did. Was that
a knock on the door?
Nope. No, they're
in the drawers there. Yeah.
But that's all I did was work every day, and then come home, take a shower, lay on the couch, do nothing. Right. So it probably would have never been uncovered having to do this. My upper back is not activating when I do bench press, which is why I hurt my shoulders. So all my shoulders were taking all the brunt of bench press, and then they shouldn't have been. And then I actually had an issue with like certain muscles of my legs weren't activating, because I actually started getting some issues with my legs doing deadlift. But we got pretty much everything taken care of except for the shoulders. Still can't quite get the back to do what it needs to do to get the pressure off the shoulders. I'm not 100% on that. I'm definitely still hoping to squeeze out a 400 for bench press. So I'm still able to do all the training so far without a lot of pain. I just have a little bit. So hopefully everything still goes good with that.
Cool. Yeah, I started recently doing a thing called F3. Is that
a new drug?
No.
Yeah, I thought you looked a little bigger.
Oh, it's just a group. It's a national organization. It's founded by the military, I believe, and it's just like a group of guys. They meet and work out.
No, you like watching through videos through these, or is it like a group you're meeting with?
Meeting with, yeah.
Okay.
We meet at the high school.
Okay.
And we basically do like, military type training, or like football kind of. Gotcha. It's those kind of things. Mm-hmm. So we're doing tons of squats, tons of push-ups, tons of sit-ups.
Right.
And man, when you're doing things like that, where you do full burnouts and stuff, you engage different muscles, when you burn out that you didn't even know you had.
Right.
And it finally gets engaged, and then you start actually having that muscle to use, and it's really interesting, But, yeah, it's been great. I can only do it twice a week because of my work schedule.
Right.
They do it 4 times a week, but because of my work, I can only go twice. But
I mean, if you know what they're doing, if you have time at the house or whatever, you can maybe recreate some of those on your own.
I could, but I just don't have the motivation.
Kayla's the same way. She's like, I can't do anything at home. I can't get motivated here. And
I just like lay down to do a sit-up, and then I take a nap. I can't do it.
The atmosphere isn't the same as going to a gym, especially if you got other people that you're lifting with. But I will say, for me, I've lifted alone for so long that it's actually weird to lift with somebody now. Yeah. Because I could never rely on anybody to continue to go as much as I wanted to go, because they weren't going for any other reason than just to build muscle or to try not to be as fat or whatever the reason is. But I'm actually going to compete, so I'm very dedicated in going every week, every day. Yeah, exactly. And so for a while, I tried lifting partners a couple different times, and just and nobody's ever been reliable enough to do that. So like I show up at the gym at the time we say. And I'm waiting on them, call them. They're still asleep. Like, you're kidding me. So,
Wyatt.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, Wyatt, if you're watching this.
I'm
not. But Wyatt's not the only one. He's not the only one I've lifted with. There's a guy keeps saying he wants to lift with me. We lifted together a few times. But, he can't continue to go. And work schedule is part of it, but when you set a certain time, and you're the only one sitting around, and you're waiting on them. To me, you're burning up time. So I've learned to lift alone, and if somebody wants to lift with me, that's fine. This is when I'm going to be at the gym. Oh, I gotta, can we go late? No, this is when I'm going. If you're not going to be there, it's fine. If you can't be there, that's fine. No big deal. I'm no longer going to put my time around somebody else to try to meet up, because no one else is reliable enough to do that. So if I could meet up with somebody who is doing the same thing I'm doing and also kind of on the same work schedule,
right?
But I got wife and kids, they do sports, so it's not even necessarily always the same time that I go.
Yeah.
And if it's my day off, I'm going in the morning. If I'm working, I'm going after work. So it's not always the same time for me either. So that's also tough.
Yeah.
So, but I almost like it anymore. I also like having the gym to myself too. I don't like people watching me.
I do too. I actually found that I do work out at the gym pretty well when I'm by myself, but that was during a time when I was consistently going every day.
Yep.
I went on my lunch break, and recently I have been able to, just because my work schedule, that they're just pressuring me more hours.
Yeah.
So
that's always going to happen.
So I kind of cut my gym time out. So I'm really happy to have people do it, because it keeps me motivated. When you haven't gone in for a week and then you go in there and try to lift, it's just like,
I will say,
depressing,
for people who are saying like, I don't have the motivation to go to the gym and all this stuff. It doesn't take long before it becomes a habit.
Right. It's
so
true,
like I had to force myself in the very beginning to go to the gym, and then, to be consistent. I knew I had to be consistent and would go. So everybody always gets that first week or two down because they're motivated within that week or two.
Right.
And then they're kind of like, oh, well, I'm tired, I'm sore, I had a long day at work. Then they start using excuses in their own head. Now, I have excuses constantly that pop up, but I just ignore them. I keep going. And sometimes it makes for a really crappy lift day. Like a lot of negativity.
Right, yeah.
I had especially if I have a bad workout for whatever reason, my diet wasn't good enough. I ate a bunch of junk, so now I feel fat and bloated, and I have a horrible lift. That will actually carry on into the next lift day, and then I'm all negative, like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to, and then usually once I get the first set in, I kind of snap out of it. But if you go, I bet if you can make 3-4 weeks of going every day, it becomes a habit. And then, like, for me, it becomes a thing of, I have to go. I can't miss a day. If I do, I go nuts.
Yeah.
I'm at that point where if I miss a day, or if it's my workout day and like guys are wanting me to come hang out and do stuff, I won't. I'm like, no, I'm going to the gym. I'm sorry. I got friends that want to go fishing, want to do other. I'm like, no. I got physical therapy at 9. I go to the gym at 10. I'm lifting, and then after now, I want to get done lifting. If something's going on, I'll do whatever. But that comes first. And most people have finally kind of figured it out.
Yeah, and you have to be able to get anywhere, really. I mean, I found that, and I've maintained pretty well for a long time, but and that's something in itself, because that takes effort. But to actually progress takes a lot of effort.
Well, I will say for you, like, you can, if you take time out, like, you're not going to get fat. Not real fat. Mm-hmm. Not real fat.
Yeah, but I do lose a lot. Because I've done it just from...
if you look at your family in general, your dad, your brother, or your uncle, your uncles. Sure. I mean, none of them are fat,
Yeah.
And some are active and some aren't, but I think you got good genes passed down to you that I don't think you'll ever have to worry about really being. And when I say real fat, so like you might be kind of pudgy, but you'll never be what I was 305 pounds of just a butter ball of fat, so I don't think you'll ever be that. That's what I kind of mean by you'll never real fat.
Right, but yeah, I can like barely bear when I get, because like right now I've finally kind of gotten rid of the love handles, and like that, like when those start coming back, it's like can't bear it. I can't bear to see it.
Now, so I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you run fast?
No.
You don't run fast.
I mean, I'm pretty fast, but
just sprints. I don't mean long distance, like mile and stuff. I mean like 40-yard dash. Really?
I'm not very fast at all.
Now, I don't know how many people listen to this know you, but you have the legs of a horse, by the way. Your ankles and your feet, like from your knee down, is like a solid post.
So, I mean, I haven't really like tried to race anyone in a long time, but like through most of my life, like through middle school and stuff, like on basketball team, there's like everyone, me, the fat kid. Like that's how, like I wasn't last, but I was not keeping up with everyone else that was about my
Now, I will say, yes, everybody has this level of speed, but with practice, you get faster.
Yeah. And, recently I found that I'm fast, like on basketball court and stuff. I seem faster than most people, but...
Well, you've done that more.
I'm still not very fast.
If you practice at just like sprints,
yeah,
you would obviously get faster.
Yeah.
You never know how fast you can get. A lot of people said I was fast.
Yeah, and you were, yeah.
But that's because I ran, though I know it doesn't look like it now, but when I was younger, that's all I did. I'd put a 100-pound weight vest on and run 40-yard dashes. And then I'd run a mile usually to warm up, and then I'd run these sprints with a weight vest on, lift weights. So I ran with weights on all the time. So yeah, and I didn't play football after freshman year, but I continued to run. So here I am beating out the football team on sprints. And they're like, why don't you play football? Well, I hurt my knee freshman year, and my dad didn't make me quit, but he's like, you should really think about your future. He's like, you hurt your knee. Like if you go and really hurt your knee, when you get older, you're gonna really regret that. And then here I am lifting heavy weight. So yeah, it worked for a few years to get me to play football. Not play football, but I still lifted even then.
So would you say he was right?
No.
No. You wish you played football?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I would have finished out. The thing is, and it's a weird regret, I guess. Like it doesn't mean as much as you get older, but you kind of hang on to the past a little bit. Your youth is what you kind of hang on to, and the memories that you did. And because if you didn't do a lot, you kind of wish that you did when you were physically able to.
Right. Yeah. I know.
So yeah. I got the letter for a Letterman's jacket my freshman year, because I got to play. Freshman, I also got to play on the JV, and I got to play 2 games in the varsity game. Now, granted, we were up by a whole bunch, when they put me out there. As a freshman, you don't really want a freshman out there anyways. But I got a letter, which starts your high school letters. So if I would have played on the varsity full time the second year, I would have got a little football emblem put on the letter, but I don't have that because I didn't play after freshman year. And then I didn't play baseball. All I did was lift, and that was it. Lift and party. That was all I did. So, but I do, which is kind of cool, I guess, because I do have 2 medals, weightlifting medals from 2 years of powerlifting competitions in high school. I think they actually started bringing those back around here. So when I went,
yeah, they did. Yeah,
that's what I heard. So I think we went to South Spencer when I went to high school, and that's where the competitions were at. And I don't know where they're having them at or how it's happening, but I'm glad they're bringing them back, because I quit doing them, I think almost like a couple years after I left. They just stopped doing them for whatever reason. It changed. But so I still have something sort of like that. So I guess you could say, because I'm continuing to powerlift anyways, it's kind of like my letters, I guess, in a sense. Mm-hmm. But you kind of look back and go, I could have done more.
Right.
I wish I would have done more. I wish I would have played baseball, football. Wish I would have done all that stuff. But I guess it doesn't really change now.
Right.
But it's weird to look back and go, I could have done more. I want to do
But what
more.
if you would have got injured in football?
That would have sucked. It could have happened, for sure.
Your chances are pretty high, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. For sure I could have got hurt. I could get hurt tomorrow in the gym. You never know.
Yeah, of course.
Tomorrow's bench press day. My shoulders hurt. So.
Yeah. Live
the pain that I have in my shoulder now, this could ag on the rest of my life. You never know. Maybe it'll never go back to normal. Now, I will say it is a muscle, not like a tendon or like a joint or a bone. So I doubt it will affect me forever. Eventually I think I'll get it, because it has calmed down a lot. So I think eventually I'll get out of it. But I could go in there and squat tomorrow and something pop my knee, and that'd be it. So I'm still kind of playing with that in a sense. But yeah. I kind of plan on when I hit 40, I'm going to stop if I'm still doing it by then. It's kind of my goal, because I should be able to, because if I haven't completed what I want to complete by I'm 40, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And honestly, as far as like a prime, I'm pretty much at the tipping point
there,
now.
Yeah.
So It doesn't mean I can't get any stronger. They say until you're 35. Once you're, I'm 34. I'll be 35 the end of this year. So. But, they say like at 35, you can continue to get stronger or your potential keeps going up to your 35. Now, if I haven't met my potential by I'm 35, I could still continue to get better past that point. But I really would like to win worlds before I quit. That's like my main goal. So I qualify for the championship here, qualify for nationals for next year, qualify for worlds the year after that, and that's my plan. And hopefully, if I can go and win worlds, I may be done then. I might be, that's my goal. I might win worlds, and I might just be like, this is it, and then I'll go back and slim back down to 215 pounds and stay there. Because I was actually going to stay there, and I was staying at 215 for a while, and so I started powerlifting, and my lifts were going down. Because I wasn't eating enough to do it. And then
I remember that. Yeah.
And he's like, hey, you got to eat more carbs. You got to eat carbs. You got to eat more protein. If you're wanting to seriously do this. So then I started eating more. And I've been I've been able to maintain, 250s area. So I haven't really gone up any higher than that. And I don't really want to be any lower than that. So this is going to probably be my weight till I quit doing this. And then I probably will just slim back down. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know, just lift lighter. I'll probably still lift, but I'll lift lighter for sure.
Yeah. Awesome. So, just real quick, what is your favorite TV service provider?
Why?
Just they'll understand later.
So I don't have one.
Okay. What's your least favorite?
I don't understand the question. So we stream.
Right. So what do you use?
Oh, I got you. I thought you meant actually like Dish or something.
Yeah.
So
like do you use Peacock or do you use Disney Plus or Paramount Plus? Or
if I had to pick one that I like the most, I guess Netflix is what I'd probably pick.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of different stuff. So I mean, we have Hulu, which we watch some stuff on that. We got Netflix. We got HBO Max, which I actually watch a lot of stuff on there. And crazy enough is I actually watch Roku Live TV, which is really an off deal because they have commercials and everything else that you have to deal with, but they have powerlifting on there.
Oh, okay.
Kayla's kind of tired of seeing it on TV, so I haven't got to watch it a lot here lately. but I just randomly found that out. So we've had a Roku forever, but I didn't realize that there was free kind of live TV on there. It's all old stuff. So they call it live TV, but there's nothing.
Like you gotta get there on time to see it.
Yeah,
still.
So I go on there and I found out they got strongman. Oh, that's cool. And so I started watching strongman stuff on there, and it's really neat. And you get some especially getting the older ones. You get the guys that are pros now in the worlds in these shows because it's not current.
Right? Because Interesting.
Now I will say it has gone up to 2021, so it is. They do have some fairly current stuff, but it goes back, the early 2000s. So it's kind of cool.
Cool.
So where's this leading to?
Oh, we have a new outro, and I don't know if you've watched the podcast, so you probably don't know. So it goes like this. I'm Bob the Tomato. You're Larry the Cable Guy, and you're watching Netflix. Goodbye.